In the previous video, we made mention of the Waterfall Project Management, also called the traditional approach, which occurs in a predictive environment. In this video, we take a closer look at that. So we look at the Waterfall Project Management. Now, what are the attributes that characterize the Waterfall approach to managing project? Number one, we say it utilizes a defined process. I told you Waterfall is for projects that have been done over and over and over again, for which reason a blueprint of procedures is typically available. For example, if you want to put up a 6-bedroom house, it's not a novel project, it's something that has been done over and over again. So it's very easy to obtain a blueprint and follow through the procedures to the final outcome. Now, the Waterfall Project Management is also known as the Predictive Life Cycle because almost every step can be predicted. Okay, it's known as the Predictive Life Cycle. It is also called the plan-driven approach because in Waterfall, the plans that we create are what actually drive the project. In Waterfall Project Management, because we can visualize the entire stages of the project, we can also plan for the entire stages of the project from start to finish. So once we have created these plans, we follow these plans and execute them. Okay, it is also called the sequential framework because the work flows in sequence. It flows from one stage to the next stage within the project life cycle, typically without getting back to a previous stage. The illustration we give to the waterfall in this regard is like a 4x100 relay where you have these athletes handing over baton to one another without getting back. It flows in a serial lineal fashion. It is also called the traditional project management simply because it is what has been practiced over the years. Okay, the waterfall approach was very prominent in the agricultural age. Okay, still relevant in that sector, very, very prominent in the industrial age. They follow blueprints in order to create deliverables. And then, of course, it's also called the waterfall because of its cascading approach towards creating the deliverables. Now, let us look at some of these aspects in greater detail. Now, for waterfall, we use it when the full picture of what we are doing is crystal clear. Procedures for accomplishing work are also crystal clear, and blueprints can be obtained or referenced from past experiences. 2, the full scope of the work is known from the onset. The volume of project scope is quantifiable before work begins. 3, requirements are typically fixed, firm, and complete. There is little to no expectations for changes in requirements. Even if there are changes or changes happen in the future, these changes are progressively managed and integrated into the project. 4, because entire scope of work is known and quantifiable, the bulk of planning occurs upfront and the team executes on that plan in a single pass. Like I told you, they move through the various stages in a single pass, okay, typically without getting to previous stages. 5, because scope is completely known, cost and schedule can also be comprehensively planned from the beginning to a great level of detail and accuracy before work begins. Now, when we talk about the scope of the project, we are making reference to the deliverable with its features and functions, as well as the work that goes into creating that deliverable with its features and functions. So that is the scope of the project. So if you can quantify the scope, it's a lot easier quantifying the cost and the schedule, because the scope controls many aspects of the project. So if you know what you are doing and the requirements are complete, then it's easy to estimate for how much it will cost and for how long it will take. So because of that, all of these other elements can actually be planned upfront, even before work begins. 6, the shape of work is predictable and the project environment is usually certain. Why it is called predictive life cycle. 7, because the shape of work is predictable, project risk can be reduced or avoided by creating and analyzing proactive plans. Now, because for Waterfall, you can visualize the entire work from start to finish, it is also very easy to anticipate the kind of risk that could crop up on the project, making it easier to create and analyze proactive plans to address them, to contain them, or even to avoid some of these risks. 8, the plan that is created for the project drives the work, determines what is to be done. Why it is called plan driven. 9, the project life stages are neatly laid and layered one on another. The team goes through each of the life stages in a serial, lineal, single pass manner, typically without getting back to a previous stage after they have passed it. Work cascades into one another in a serial manner. Why it is called waterfall. And finally, for traditional project management, there is usually a single delivery of project outcome at the end of the project. So if you ask someone to put up a house for you, it is not the case that he will complete the bedroom and ask you to move into the bedroom even as he tries to complete the other portions of the house. Usually he finishes with everything and then hands you over the keys to the house. Okay, so business value is typically realized at the end of the project. Most waterfall projects are like that. They have to finish everything. So if the project would take 2 years, you have to wait for 2 years for the project to end before receiving your deliverables. Remember, we are still training for your PMP Project Management Certification. Join us for in-person classes in Ghana. Wherever you are in the world, in Africa, Europe, America, you can also join our online sessions. Remember, we have a very strong and effective post-training system to get you to the finish line. Also get in touch if you want to pursue the Professional Scrum Master certification, the Certified Scrum Master, or the Agile Certified Practitioner. Together, we will write that victory song. Thank you very much and see you in the next lesson.